spins and it changes your velocity over and over again. The net result of all these forces heading up is the sensation of gravity pulling you away from the center of rotation, which is pretty similar to gravity. The thing is, you don't actually need a ring to produce this effect. A ring just happens to be one of the more efficient shapes to easily balance around a rotating center. You don't even need fancy technology. All you need is a bucket, your arm, water, and a very nervous spouse. If you rotate your arm fast enough, you can create a force strong enough to keep that water in the bucket, even if it's upside down. No halo rings required. So this is the last possible bastion for a flat Minecraft world. Someone spinning it unceremoniously like a bucket in space. Eat your heart out, Russell's Teapot. There's a new philosophical space-themed thought experiment king in town. The Minecraft bucket. And while the idea of swinging a giant slab of earth around in a circle may seem utterly ridiculous, and that is because it is, the mathematics of this solution does hold up, making it vaguely possible. Kinda. Sorta. Not really, but sorta. Let's dig into it, shall we?
Hello?
We already know some of our limitations right off the bat. Interestingly, several constants in the Minecraft world viably survive this bucket in space scenario. Providing you had rigid enough sides, you could hold in an atmosphere no problem. This also explains the weirdly consistent sky no matter where you fly at night and the seemingly random biome. Since the entire surface is supposedly flat, you don't really get a new viewing angle to the rest of space the way you do when you're living on a sphere. So the sky being pretty much the same everywhere makes a lot of sense, and the random displacement of environments is kind of plausible. We have a lot of unknowns, but there's a lot of stuff working in our favor. For instance, we know the rotational rate for a fact, since a Minecraft day is 20 minutes long. Presuming the light source is somewhere near the center of rotation, this actually limits us by quite a bit. I say light source because, well, if it's a star, things get awfully complicated really quickly. We'll get there eventually. Okay, so we have a big fat slab of Minecraft in space, tied to some kind of space rope, swinging around, and since the day-night cycle is 20 minutes long, we know that it must be making one complete revolution every 20 minutes. Next, we have to measure the gravity of a Minecraft world by falling to death from a specific height and timing how long it takes us to get there using this handy formula, which gets us a sweet gravitational pull of 32.4 meters per second squared of gravitational acceleration over 3 Gs. And with this, we actually have all the information that we need, because the sensation of gravity you feel from a rotating body is created by centrifugal force caused by your changing tangential velocity and its direction and speed, meaning the long...
Introducing Wendy's 2 for $5. The only 2 for $5 with Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef and the spicy chicken you crave. Choose from the Dave Single Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece crispy, or spicy nuggets. Pick any 2 for $5. Only at Wendy's. Not one, but two.
Longer your radius, or the more frequently you spin around, the more gravity you feel. Since our spin rate is fixed at 20 minutes, 1200 seconds, and we know our gravity, our radius, that is our distance away from the center of rotation, must be a fixed, predictable distance. Using this formula and plugging in our numbers, we can figure out that our Minecraft planet must be swinging from a rope 1.2 million meters long in order to create 3.3 Gs of gravity. Sweet! Okay, case closed. It's possible. Pack it up. We're going up. Not even close. I am just getting started. I mentioned a light source before, and this light source ruins everything. You see, Minecraft isn't just a barren rock, it has life on it. Grass, trees, lily pads, cows and sheep to eat the grass, and lions to eat the... I mean, you've seen the movie. And the circle of life all starts with one thing: energy from the sun. This is the case on our planet, and it's definitely the case on the Minecraft planet. Light is an incredibly important mechanic in Minecraft. Without proper lighting, plants won't grow. Grass, which will ordinarily spread to any dirt block nearby at a regular rate, won't spread at all. Sheep, cows, and pigs won't spawn because they require grass blocks to spawn, so no light, no life. And this creates a problem. A big one, actually. The light emitted by our sun is truly immense in a way that I can't easily encapsulate in words. Stars are basically the only things that are powerful enough to emit enough energy to sustain life on a planet-wide scale. A super powerful heat lamp that's only on for 13 minutes a day in order to match the 1,368 watts per square meter of power reaching us from the sun and covering all 3.6 quadrillion square meters of Minecraft planet would need to be pumping out 4.9 exawatts of power, which, for context, in 24 real-life hours stars, this lamp would require 53% of the total energy output created by every single power plant on Earth in an entire year, just for one real-world day of power. So, in short, we need a star, but no big deal, right? Just strap our flat planet to a rotating center above and below the sun so they don't burn up, place her 1.1 million meters away, give her a good slap to get her running at 6,193 meters per second, and we're good to go, right? Absolutely freaking not! Problem 1. The properties of the sun. By all my calculations, a sun that could sustain a planet within a habitable zone in an orbit of 1.1 million meters is impossible. At least if we're using light. With that luminosity, it's too big to be a neutron star, but too small to be a white dwarf, which suggests that it would probably be at risk of collapsing into a black hole. It's hard to say without calculating the pressures, but honestly, it doesn't matter because we have an even bigger problem. Gravity. And in this case, it's not the gravity caused by our fake rotation, it's the gravity from the star itself. Stars, even small ones, are massive, and very massive objects create large distortions in space-time. In Newtonian terms, this means they create a large gravitational force. Okay, so orbits. An orbit was first postulated, at least in detail, by Sir Isaac Newton. And since we're here, let's give our boy Newton some more credit than he usually gets in classrooms across the world, because the story goes that humans are really stupid, and Newton was the first non-stupid person to realize that objects fall down because he saw an apple fall from a tree, and bam, like that, the dude invents physics. But, obviously humans knew about gravity before Isaac Newton. The story is actually way more awesome than that, and it really betrays the actual genius that was this guy. What actually happened was the guy was sitting and saw an apple fall. That part is true. The part that's often left out, though, is that he saw an apple fall on a windy day. What he noticed was that the apple picked up sideways speed as it fell, which caused it to not only follow a longer arced path, but take a longer time to reach the ground. From this, he was like, hey, in theory, could you give something enough sideways speed that not only would it take a longer time to fall down and follow a curved path, but it would be going sideways so quickly that it would just miss the ground over and over and then just keep falling forever, and boom! Orbits from nothing but falling apples and wind. That's all an orbit is in Newtonian terms. Any object falling toward another object can fall forever in a circle around it if it's going sideways fast enough. This sideways speed is called the orbital velocity, and it has some interesting but easy to understand quirks. The closer you are to an object you're orbiting, the stronger its gravitational pull is. Therefore, you have to have a faster sideways speed in order to avoid hitting it. Therefore, objects in higher orbits, while they have more potential energy in them because they're higher up, are moving in slower speeds in relation to the object they're orbiting around. TLDR, the closer you are to an object with high gravity, the faster you have to move to overpower that gravitational pull and get into an orbit. Does that make sense? No? Well, I'm moving on anyway. The orbital speed of an object that's only 1.1 million meters away from a star with a luminosity of 5.1 times 10 to the negative 11 solar luminosities is 12.6 million meters per second, or 4.22% the speed of light. More importantly, this is dramatically slower than our tangential velocity of 6,000-ish meters per second needed to create gravity from centrifugal force. Meaning, in this scenario, since everything that's on the surface of the Minecraft planet is moving slower than the orbital speed, everything that's not glued down is going to lift off the surface and fall into the sun. Good news is that they would suffocate long before that actually happened. This is our conundrum. We need a light source that's powerful enough to sustain life on our Minecraft slab, a slab that must rotate once every 20 minutes, must be within the habitable zone of its star, and it has to rotate fast enough to counteract the gravitational pull of the star it's orbiting around. If it moves too fast, the gravity will be either too strong or we will surpass our 20-minute speed limit. Too slow and gravity will be too weak, or even worse, be in the negative. So at 20 minutes per rotation, we have to definitely be moving faster than our orbital speed, meaning we'll have to be further away, meaning our star has to be bigger, and it's an impossible balancing act involving this huge spreadsheet to figure out. Oh, and there's also this fun problem that if you go too You can get enough sunlight, check, tick the 20-minute rotation rate, and avoid breaking the laws of relativity, mostly. So we're good now, right? Hashtag flat planet confirmed possible? Heck no! What are you, stupid? This is totally impossible! The more energy you put into an orbit, the higher up the orbit wants to be, which is, how things work. If you put more energy into an object in orbit, it won't just kindly stay in its orbital height and add a gravitational force to anybody standing on it. I mean, look, this is me in space, a Kerbal Space Program, flying at 65,000 meters per second in a circle around the sun. Is my Kerbal sticking to my ship like it's experiencing centrifugal force? No! That's because the orbit is stable. There's no change to its state. In order for centrifugal force to exist, there needs to be a change in tangential velocity. So while an orbit and a spinning ring look the same because they're both spinning circles, they behave craft planet from kicking up into a higher orbit at these speeds. And this is the ultimate doom of this stupid, stupid idea. Taking into account the average sea level on Minecraft, the height of the atmosphere, and the relative densities of both, at an area of 3.6 quadrillion square meters, we're looking at a mass of around 611 quintillion kilograms. You would need a rope of titanium alloy, a material with the highest known tensile strength aside from the very difficult to mass-produce graphene. A rope capable of holding forces caused by 611 quintillion kilograms accelerating at 32.4 meters per second squared would have to be 91,923 meters thick and surround the entire edge of the Minecraft planet. Okay, so fine. Make a big, thick rope and you're good now. Right, we did it now? No, we didn't. Because aside from the fact that titanium is freaking opaque and would block the vital sunlight, a rope or a cord or pillar this thick would weigh 4.3, big number. Lots of zeros, kilograms. Almost as much as our sun, our real one. Way more than Jupiter. It point blank would break under the forces of would more than exceed the tensile limits of the material, period. No matter how thick you made it. I just started adding zeros to my numbers to see if it could work, and it couldn't, because it's freaking impossible, because we know it's impossible. Flat planets can't exist, period. It's stupid to even assume it or try it. Am I crazy here? Like, if you're gonna go through the mental gymnastics in order to justify a flat planet, it's easier to just assume it's a normal round planet floating in space. It makes way more sense. Occam's razor, you silly person. Have you heard of it? I'm gonna go call my therapist, and I swear to God, if you suggest Minecraft is flat ever again, I will freaking lose it! Sincerely, Austin. Hey, fun fact you should know while you're considering subscribing to the channel, the very thing that got Matt and I talking to begin with was that we both did videos on Minecraft and Flat Earthers on the exact same day, within hours of each other. We got to talking, and here I am now, so...
Oh great, my Facebook feed is filled with crazy conspiracies again. Yeah, Dan, I'm sure the CIA is super concerned about you identifying as a waterbender. Why, of course the Illuminati were behind the Harambe shooting. It's a mass conspiracy to get everyone's dicks out. Oh, and big surprise, the craziest of all, people who still believe that the planet is flat. Oh, sorry, I should have read the whole article first. It says that Minecraft takes place on a flat, cuboidal planet. Huh. I wonder. Seriously, more dicks for Harambe! Oh, I'm so sick of penises for gorillas! Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, Round Earth Truthers since 2016. Speaking of 2016, this year admittedly has been a rough one. Though events like the Olympics brought the world together, terrorist attacks and civil wars have just as frequently torn us apart. But while most of the rest of the world was worrying about the spread of the Zika virus or the economic ramifications of the Brexit, there was one other huge issue that reared its ugly head online. An issue that many thought was long eradicated at this point, but still somehow got itself plenty of attention. Much like the resurgence of measles, old diseases come back stronger than ever. And in this case, the issue in question was whether the Earth is flat. Seriously, the top of this year saw bunches of social posts as D-list celebrities once again questioned centuries worth of scientific teaching and probably their own experiences on flights. Photos from space? Bah, that curvature I see is obviously photoshopped. See that curved horizon? It's a classic Illuminati mind trick. And yet no matter how many times you leave a well-substantiated, scientifically backed claim in the thread, nothing you can do will ever get them to think any differently. Man, people are just stubborn sometimes. Now, for as dumb as this whole thing was, it did get me thinking. Minecraft is a beautiful game that is basically home to millions of living, breathing worlds. And yet, whenever I see those worlds depicted, they're always shown to be giant cubes floating in space. Globes that have been smushed down and turned into glorified Rubik's cubes. And when you think about it, that would seem to make sense. Every person and thing in the Minecraft verse is made out of blocks. Pig, blocks. Tree, blocks. Box, blocks. And whenever you look up, you see a square moon and a square sun. So clearly the planet Minecraft should be set in a world shaped like a rectangular prism. No, actually. Because, well, logically it might make the most sense for Minecraft to take place on a Picasso-esque cubist world. That simply isn't the case when you look at the science. In fact, what the science has to say about the Minecraft world is simultaneously surprising and incredibly fitting for a game as beautiful and rich as this one. So let's solve some mysteries about the Minecraft world the good old-fashioned way by sciencing the heck out of them. So how can I prove that Minecraft's world looks like this and not this? Well, forget all those complicated pixel measurements and calculations. It's literally as easy as doing this. Seriously, all you have to do is jump. It's as easy as falling over, and that's no exaggeration. You see, gravity is a force that attracts any two objects with mass. You, as an object with mass, have a gravitational pull. Granted, it's a teeny tiny one, but remember, size doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. And besides, I'm not gonna judge. I'm attracted to you nonetheless. In a strictly gravitational way, that is. Heyo! How am I not doomed to be single for the rest of my life? Now, in the case of a human walking around on Earth, the planet is so massive relative to you, all you feel is the gravitational pull into the ground. But it's not just pulling you down, it's pulling you into the center of the Earth. Now, the strength of the force of gravity is proportional to the planetary body's mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the center of the body. Don't worry about it, that was just a bunch of gobbledygook so I could throw the equation up on the screen. Instead, let me simplify it for you. If you're on a sphere, like you are on Earth, where every point is basically the same distance from the center of the globe, gravity all around the Earth is consistent at 9.81 meters per second squared. However, if your planet was in the shape of, I don't know, say a cube, like most people assume Minecraft's planet is, the pull of gravity would actually lessen as you got closer to the edge of the planet because you're getting further and further away from the core. Let me show you what I mean with some really quick math. So before beta 1.8, there existed the Farlands, signifying the end of the Minecraft world. They were about 12.5 million blocks, or in real-world measurements, meters away from the center of your world. If you calculate out the distance to the core of the Minecraft Earth from the middle of the cube versus the edge of the edges of the cube are about 5 million meters further away, or over 3,000 miles. To put that into context, if you were 3,000 miles further away from Earth's core right now, you would be well above most astronauts when they fly, which is about 200 to 400 miles up. You'd also be past most satellites, which are up about 3,000 miles from the surface of Earth. The only thing still left above you would be GPS satellites that are about 6,000 miles up. So now, based on that earlier gobbledygook formula I threw up on the screen, we can actually calculate that gravity at the edges of the Minecraft world would be about half the strength that it would be from where you first spawned because you're so much further away from the center of the planet. At the corner Farlands, it would actually be even less because it's the furthest point from the planet's core. Because of this, in the Farlands, Minecraft Steve would be able to jump incredibly high and fall much slower, both of which, though, don't happen in the game, meaning that gravity isn't changing based on where we are in the Minecraft world. The only way that this would be possible is if you're basically the same distance from Earth's center of gravity at all times. This just isn't possible in a cubed world, nor in a pyramid world, not even a parallelepiped world. The only shape of planet where this could possibly work is a spherical world, providing us evidence that the Minecraft world is actually round. But it's not just the force of gravity, it's also the angle of gravity. You see, the gravitational force would be pulling Minecraft Steve towards the center of the planet, the center of gravity. On a spherical world, that that's always at a right angle to the ground. But on a cuboidal planet, again, because you can move so much further away from the core at different places on the surface, gravity would act on you at a different angle based on your distance. Even though Steve would be standing on flat ground, it would actually feel like he's on a slope because gravity would be acting on him at an angle rather than straight down. Remember when I said that proving Minecraft's world was round was as easy as falling down? Well, it's true. If you were to jump off of a tall tower, or since this is Minecraft, I suppose, a giant recreation of popular MMO's face made entirely out of wool and redstone, you wouldn't fall straight down towards the Earth. Instead, you would fall at a slight angle as gravity pulled you closer to the planet's center. I actually feel real bad for Minecraft Steve. If he were real, he would not only feel disoriented all the time, but he would literally just topple over sometimes because his sense of gravity wouldn't match up to what he was seeing around him. His equilibrium would be so messed up. But gravity isn't the only way that we can prove the cubes of Minecraft exist in a rounded world. There's also the behavior of the sun and the moon in the game. First, during sunrise and sunset, look into the sky. You know what? Actually, take a minute and appreciate the night sky. This game is just beautiful. The sunset, the level of detail here, it's gorgeous. Ugh, so good. Alright, back to science. Notice how the reds of the sun form a round, almost spherical shape in the sky? Well, the colors of a sunrise and sunset come from light having to pass through more particles of so low in the sky, light actually has a longer distance to travel to reach your eye. As a result, most of the blue light is already scattered before it reaches you, leaving the longer wavelength lights of reds, oranges, and yellows. And as we can see, that's largely how it works in Minecraft's world as well, except it shouldn't. Or at least it shouldn't if the planet was a cube. You see, if the planet were a cube, the gravity differential across the faces of the planet would also affect the atmosphere surrounding the planet, with the gases drawn towards the points with highest gravity, i.e. the center of each of the planet's faces. As a result, the starting spawn location of every Minecraft map would have a very thick atmosphere, and the edges would be very thin. This means that light would actually behave very differently at different points of the map. At noon at the center of the map, because of the light having to pass through that thicker layer of atmosphere, the sky would appear almost like a sunset, red and orange. All the colors of a sunset, all the convenience of it being in the middle of the day. And conversely, at the end of the day, with the light passing through the thinner atmosphere along the edges of the planet, that's when the sky would be bluer. It's practically the reverse of what it is IRL, and also the reverse of what it is in the game. Which means, loyal theorists, that even though Minecraft's world may seem like an infinitely flat plane or a cube,
Okay, I'm setting up a poll really quick for people who watch my content. This is really boring to do. I'm just gonna listen to this the entire time. This is the second time I've had to do this since 4 people unsubbed right when I did the video thanking for 300 subs, so that's funny.
And the planet's celestial bodies. But while the overall shape of Minecraft's cube-filled yet rounded world is actually similar to our own, the way it behaves definitely isn't. For one, planet Minecraft doesn't rotate like a normal planet. In fact, it doesn't move at all. And even though the ramifications of what this means just occurred to me,
Wait, how the heck did it down to 294?
I mean, think about it. I'm able to fly hundreds of thousands of meters into the air, eventually leaving the atmosphere and entering the cold dead reaches of space, and yet, when I fall back down to the planet, I land in the exact same square that I started with. For fun, you can even dig a hole into the planet and fall from space into that 1 meter by 1 meter hole. That is how precise it is. Go ahead, hover out there in space for a couple days, then drop back down. Nothing under you changes. And what that proves is that the planet isn't moving under your character. It is stationary. But then why would that be a big deal? Well, that would mean that the sky is the one that's doing the moving. You see, on Earth, we have day and night because the Earth rotates around its axis. During the day, your side of the Earth is facing the sun, and as your little point on the globe turns away from the sun, it becomes night. But as we just saw, Minecraft's planet doesn't spin or rotate at all. And yet, there are still clearly days and nights, so something has to be changing here. How is this possible? Well, if the Earth isn't moving, that means that the sky has to be the one that's rotating around us. And while this may seem far-fetched, it's an idea that's existed since the ancient Greeks. Specifically, Plato and Aristotle proposed what's known as a geocentric model of the universe, with the Earth stationary and in the middle of everything. Which, let's face it, is a much more exciting thing to find in the center of the universe than whatever that glowing thing was there in No Man's Sky. Am I right? Up top! High five me up top! Thank you. From there, the sun, moon, stars, and other planets were attached to giant crystal spheres moving at uniform speeds to create the revolution of the heavens around us, around the Earth. And so nowadays, we look at the guys and, geez, what total narcissists thinking that they were the center of the universe. When in actuality, anyone who's playing Minecraft is actually living in that exact universe. The in-game science backs it up, too. Notice how the moon and the sun are always 180 degrees apart from each other in the sky? They're rotating around the planet, which typically has a rotation of the moon, but that's a whole topic for another day. Also, notice how the stars are moving at the same rate as the moon. The position of the station relative to the moon never actually changes. If the Minecraft world was in fact the thing moving, we would see different stars in the sky, different perspectives of those stars, or at the very least, the sun and the moon would move at different speeds. Something. But instead, you see everything moving completely evenly around the Earth, exactly like it's all on one big track, making it clear that everything you see in the Minecraft sky points to you being the center of it all. So are you surprised that you're literally the center of the universe in Minecraft? Honestly, it shouldn't come as that as we just saw, literally 2. But hey, that's just a theory. 2 theories, actually, when you think about it. Theories, actually, when you think about it. The rounded Earth and the center of the universe thing. Wow, yeah, so anyway, that's just 2 theories. 2 game theory. So anyway, that's just 2 theories. 2 game theories. Thanks for watching.
This is great content, am I right? Okay, I just subscribed to you. Joey. Oh, I did it on my alt account. You need to give me a second so I can do it on my main account. Oh, I did it on my alt account. Oh, shut up, me. Hey, what's up, Doc? We're doing this again because, oh yeah, Doc, you have 5 subs now. Merry Christmas. Yeah, but we're doing this again because 6 people unsubbed. So that's fun. It's fun. Okay, Doc, you have 6 subs now. Congratulations.
What can I do for you, sir? Mouse?
I'm looking for a car. Something sporty, something sexy.
Well, then, do I have the perfect vehicle for you? It's a Porsche Spider. Super high-end, great track speeds. Heads will be turning when you take this baby out on the road.
Huh, boy? I'll take it.
Fantastic. Though, be warned, it is an expensive car. Talking close to $100K for this baby.
I said I'll take it.
Price is no object, I see. Great. I'll just ring it up right now.
You clearly don't understand. I said I'll take that Spider, and I'll take it for free. If I need to, I'll buy up every other car dealership in the area just to put you out of business. That Spider will be mine for $0. And you know what? You'll be glad about that. I'll show it off alongside all my other cars, and you will love it. You'll eat it up. You won't be able to get enough as I sell you the privilege to watch me show off all my cars.
Are we still talking about cars?
I'll make millions off that free Spider.
Okay. So would you like roadside insurance with that? Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory. Not owned by Disney yet, but we are available. So last time we talked about Disney's other star attraction, Elsa. But the time before that, we talked about Spider-Man. Whether it makes sense for Disney to outright buy the movie rights to the character, as well as all the other 900 characters that he's associated with, all away from Sony Pictures for the cool price of $5 billion. Ultimately concluding that yes, it's a deal that makes a surprising amount of sense, despite that figure being higher than what they paid for the entirety of the Marvel and Star Wars universes. The long and short of it was that they would get greater creative control over how the character gets used, while also making more profit than they're currently getting in their current deal with Sony. He becomes the leader of the new Avengers, big villains get their own standalone releases a la Venom, minor characters and villains get their own Disney Plus shows, everyone sells a whole lot of merch, and Disney finally earns enough to knock down the Hollywood sign and rebrand the entirety of LA
Are you watching film today? Yes, I am.
Away with it all for the low, low price of $0 billion. You don't even have to click
I'm
any
watching some
coupons or use
videos
your
I didn't see
Honey browser
when they
plugin.
came out.
For as crazy as that might sound, it's actually within the realm of possibility. So join me today for an episode of Film Theory all about game theory, the economics concept. A prisoner's dilemma played at the mega corporation scale with billions of dollars and thousands of jobs on the line. And all of it is centered on that darn webhead. Now, up to this point in our analysis, we've been talking a lot about what Spider-Man is worth to Disney, but it's equally important to consider the value of Spidey's film rights to Sony. Because if we're being honest, Sony needs Spider-Man big time. 6 of Sony's top 10 highest-grossing films worldwide are from the Spider-Man franchise. Over 50%. It is undeniably the studio's biggest property. Without Spider-Man, Sony's next biggest properties are James Bond, pretty solid, and then Jumanji. I mean, don't get me wrong, the new Jumanji movies are a heck of a lot of fun, but, you know, there's only so many times that you can laugh about people being put inside the Rock's body. Oh yeah, and then there's also the Da Vinci Code. Ooh, boy, what is this, 2006? So despite Disney reportedly offering $5 billion, now you can start to see why Sony might not want to sell the website with anything less than 10. It's one of the few reliable things they have that has the potential to make large stacks of cash. Last episode we covered the ins and outs of the different agreements Sony and Disney have had in place over the years. So if you'd like more detail on those, check out the previous episode. But knowing those deal points, consider this. Spider-Man Far From Home was under the old agreement where Sony put up 100% of the financing of the movie and got back 95% of what those movies made, with the other 5% going to Disney as an entry fee to get him into the MCU. Mickey Mouse is like the highest paid bouncer of all time.
Want to get into the MCU? Tell me when you can pull in $1 billion.
The film made $1.13 billion, and Sony spent $160 million to make it. In total, Sony walks away with $921 million. And just as a reminder, all of this is super back to the napkin math, not accounting for how much movie theaters make, weird accounting costs, etc., etc. Entertainment is just a weird, sketchy business where numbers can literally mean anything and come from anywhere. I've seen this in action. All of these numbers taken with the heaviest dose of salt you possibly can. Anyway, that being said, had the movie been made under the current 2019 agreement, Sony would have theoretically had to pay less to finance the movie, $120 million, since Disney now helps pay for the other 25%. As a result, Sony takes home 75% of the return. That's $849 million in gross for a handy little $729 million in profit. Less overall return under this new deal, but remember, they're also having to take on significantly less monetary risk to make the movie. $40 million worth of extra risk. In all honesty, it's a win-win for them. So if we assume that that's approximately the average earnings that they're going to get out of a Spider-Man movie, Sony now has to decide, would they rather produce 7 films under their current arrangement with Disney to try and earn themselves that $5 billion that was offered while still retaining the film rights to themselves, or would they rather take the easy paycheck of $5 billion right out of the mouse's hands and in the process lose the Spider-Man film rights? Making 7 hit movies is a lot to accomplish, especially when every other Spider-Man story seems to peter out after its 3rd entry. Get it? Peter out, Peter Parker out. But seriously, that's a really hard number to hit. But then again, you have Far From Home's amazing reception and super exciting cliffhanger. Venom has its own surprise hit due for its sequel and a follow-up to Spider-Verse. So all told, the franchise is in a really great place. Spider-Man is stronger than he's ever been right now. It seems like it's a pretty easy call. Sony should keep the film rights and keep raking in that sweet, sweet spider dough for another decade. But all of that's assuming that Sony themselves will be in existence for years and years to come. Haha! And that is the twist, my friends. Rumor has it that Apple is seriously thinking of acquiring Sony in the near future, and those rumors just won't go away. And see, this is where it gets juicy, because if Sony sells, then Spider-Man's film rights automatically revert back to Marvel, which Disney now owns. That's right, Disney would get the Spider-Man film rights for free if Sony winds up getting involved. So basically, it's a white.
Life doesn't update you about your credit card, so meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong and helps you fix them. What's in your wallet?
Color game of chicken. Should Disney pay anything to get the rights when they might simply get them for free, or should they hedge their bets and just buy it to be safe? Should Sony sell the rights to their cash cow because they plan to reject Apple's advances, or should they sell the Spider-Man rights and talking a cool $5 billion before Apple buys them outright anyway. So here we see why Disney may be less eager to pay Sony's $10 billion price tag. Though Disney can afford it and would likely recoup that investment, paying $10 billion for the Spider-Man universe would be the dumbest thing Disney could do, but paying $10 billion when they could have paid $0 for it certainly would be. This is game theory at play in the real world here, folks. I am so excited because this one calls for a good old 2x2 matrix, otherwise known as a payoff matrix. Now, if you're unfamiliar, game theory often uses matrices like these to help identify optimal strategies. The most famous one is the prisoner's dilemma, which is usually done with criminals and suspects, but I actually prefer the other example of the British game show Golden Balls, which is not only a hilarious name, but also has incredibly simple but compelling strategy at play. You see, two players work together throughout the game to rack up a big cash pot, but whether they get to walk away with any of that money ultimately depends on one final decision. They can either choose to take it all or split the pot with their partner. If they both choose to split the pot, well, they both win 50% of the day's earnings. If one chooses to take it all and the other player chooses to split, then the person who took it all wins everything, and the other player wins nothing just for being a good person. And if they both choose to be greedy and want to take it all, they both win nothing, and the balls are that much bigger and more golden in the next episode. So now let's give it a spin with our Disney-Sony scenario. Let's assume that Disney only has two options on the table. Either buy the rights for $10 billion price tag that Sony wants, or wait it out with their current deal. Sony, meanwhile, will either get acquired by Apple or not. For our purposes, we'll assume Disney has no idea what Apple plans to do. So this in turn sets up our 2x2 matrix. Disney pay $10 billion or not, Sony get acquired or not. So now let's focus on the Disney payoffs. For Disney, the absolute best outcome is to pay nothing. Sony sells to Apple, and Disney just inherits the Spider-Man rights for free. So if Disney waits and Sony gets bought, Disney basically gets $10 billion for free. So we're going to give this scenario a value of plus 10 for Disney. The absolute worst outcome for Disney would be to pay the $10 billion for the rights, only to then have Sony get acquired by Apple, at which point they would have paid for something that they could have gotten for free. So we're going to give that scenario a minus 10 to Disney. What if Disney pays but Sony doesn't get acquired? Well, that's just kind of a nothing lost, nothing gained scenario for both parties. Disney pays a little more than they wanted to, but will probably make that price up in time. Sony gets what they believe to be a fair price for their assets. So we're going to give that one a 0-0 for both sides. Probably more accurately a -1 for Disney because they paid more than they wanted, and a +1 for Sony since they're probably charging a bit of a high price tag. But for simplicity, let's say 0-0. Finally, if both Disney and Sony simply stay put in their current 2019 agreement, we're going to call that a +3 for Disney. Though they get less creative control and less money than they may like, they're going to make money. Get to use Spider-Man in the MCU. Mostly positive. So that's the Disney side of the matrix. Now let's talk about Sony. The best case scenario for Sony is to pull a fast one on Disney. They sell the rights to Spider-Man for $10 billion right before Apple acquires them. It's like finding a wallet with $10 billion in it. So that scenario is a big +10 for Sony. Worst case for Sony would be to not sell the rights at all and then get acquired. They'd be getting nothing for something they themselves had valued at $10 billion. And then they could have very easily sold to Disney for at least $5 billion. So that to Sony is going to be a -10 scenario. Finally, if Sony can manage to continue on with their current arrangement with Disney, that's a small positive. Again, I'd say like a +3 or a +5. They hold on to their biggest franchise, they continue making good money off of it, plus the film rights to Spider-Man could very well continue to increase in value in the meantime. So with our matrix now filled in, what does it tell us? Well, we shouldn't read too much into Sony's options, since the studio may not have much say in whether Apple acquires them or not. That's to say, the massive Apple-Sony deal is probably going to happen or not, regardless of whether Spider-Man's measly little film rights get sold off. Apple just probably doesn't care. You're not getting those film rights either way. By the nature of the contract, it always is going to revert back to Marvel. But a clear dominant strategy does emerge for Disney. No matter what happens to Sony, if Disney waits, Disney wins. Best case, they wait and land a 10 when Sony gets acquired. Worst case, Sony doesn't get bought and Disney still lands a +3, which is the second best option for him on the entire matrix. So while Spider-Man's rights may very well be worth the $10 billion price tag that Sony seems to believe, it's pretty clear that Disney won't be paying that price. Sony's uncertain future simply puts them in too weak of a negotiating position. If Apple doesn't acquire Sony, expect to see Disney and Sony's uneasy marriage continue indefinitely, as it's mutually beneficial to both parties to keep Sony's movies linked to the MCU. But if the Apple conversations do start to get really serious, expect to see shopping the Spider-Man film rights around in a last-ditch effort to get something for their property. And when that happens, expect Disney to wind up being the highest bidder, taking the movie rights for far less than $10 billion and continuing their unstoppable march towards world domination. So is Spider-Man worth paying $10 billion for? Well, we concluded last time that on paper, the answer was yes. But in practice, the machinations of big business actually say no. Disney shouldn't buy. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And subscribe, 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 subscribe to Film Theory.
Do you want to play modded Minecraft? Sorry that took me so long to read. Nah. I gotta do this stream, man. Have we gained any subscribers yet, or we still have to sit in here? Jasper, come here. Ow. Ow. Freaking neck. Ow. We getting any subs yet? Or still just sitting here? Oh, holy crap, we're 2 away. Alright, I changed the title. hello. Or, well, goodbye, considering you left the stream. Doo-doo is a thing that exists. Don't ask. A lot of I can type in my chat without actually being on stream. Because I'm Magic Man. Like, watch this. Yeet in my potato. It's not showing that I'm actually on stream, but I can still type in my own chat. So in bit, you should see this. It says yeet and potato. Anyway, off the topic of that. I know it's the topic of important stuff. I didn't click on you. Thank you. Okay, we're 2 subs away. Yeah, see, I commented yeet potato without actually joining stream. Because we need it. Also, we updated the title of the broadcast because I realized that it's not what it's meant to say. Because I forgot to change it. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, what's up? We got a person stream. Oh, that's sick, man. Thanks. Let's see, you were $2.99. Sick, man. Yeah, we are currently 1 subscriber away right now. So it's pretty epic, gamer, epic. Oh, and I think he left the stream. No, he didn't. That was a bug. Yep. Yeah. Once we get done with this, I'm probably gonna stream Minecraft. Nice, I love you, MC. What? Jay, a bit confused there, mate. I meant love him. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, so we're like 1 sub away right now. Let's see. Yep, still 1 sub away. This is a boring stream, ain't it? Oh, that sucks, man. Just like Kappa, am I right? But I'm cheating. Yeah, that's fine. Well, see you next stream, possibly, quite maybe. Oops, you didn't. That was funky. One subscriber away. have 21 messages. 21. Can confirm. I have, says Yoda. That is weird as heck. I just looked on that dude's channel that came in stream earlier. I am literally the only person he subscribed to. That is funky. Yeah, so we're at 299 right now. What was my last video I had? Oh, we're at 300! Hey! Hey! Whoop! We at 300, boy! We at 300! We at 300! We at 300! 300, we at 300, we got 300, we got 300, we got 300, wonder who it's from. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. Okay, we're gonna start playing some Minecraft now, boys. 300! Woo! For the second time. Oh, my back hurts. Okay. This took an hour and 18, about an hour and 18 minutes. Actually, it's pretty much an hour and 19 minutes. Now, let's go ahead and just... Nope, stop. Whoops. We did it, boys! Oh wait, we soar. What? Alright, let me get out of this place. After I find out what the heck this is. Okay, that's completely useless, that's what it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and fight a ripped goat, and then let's get the heck out of here, eh? Ooh. 300. We did it, boys. For the second time. only took like what? 2 days for it? 1 day for it to do us the second time? That is epic. Man, this one's secret tunnel. Die, boy. Get out of my house. Excuse me, you were talking to an obese child on the internet, Ripto. And I'll have you know, I have 300 subs. Get wrecked. Okay. I want to kill this guy. Okay. Well, see you all in Minecraft.